Huyu Ruto alipanga tukuje tuwawe kanisani.
Politics has never been a clean game. But what many people fail to understand is this. Dirty politics is rarely random. It is often deliberate, calculated, and designed to achieve a specific goal.
Na nimekuja kujua ni kwa sababu gani Russia walitupatia fertilizer ya bure. Ruto ameuza watoto wetu 200,000.
In the struggle for power, deception becomes a weapon. Lies are planted, narratives are manufactured, public emotions are manipulated. And sometimes, what the public sees is not the truth, but a carefully staged performance. Kenya is no exception. Here, political deception does not merely exist, it thrives.
Mimi nitamsaidia gavana wangu.
Those in government may attempt to intimidate the opposition.
Huyu Ruto.
The opposition, on the other hand, may create the impression of persecution to gain sympathy, rally support, and ignite public anger. And while both sides trade accusations, one group remains trapped in uncertainty: the ordinary citizen. Because when an opposition figure is attacked, when meetings are disrupted, when dissenters are abducted, the public immediately asks, who is behind it?
Wewe unaenda kanisani vile tumeenda hivi. Wakati ya kutoa sadaka, wewe unatupa tear gas. Wewe mwenyewe.
The government denies involvement. The opposition insists the state is responsible. And once again, the country is thrown into confusion. But here is the unsettling reality.
Mimi nitamsaidia.
It is possible the government is responsible. And it is equally possible that the opposition may orchestrate chaos, only to blame the government for it. And so the nation is left with questions, suspicion, and fear, but no certainty. Yet, in investigations, confusion is not the conclusion. It is the starting point. Because investigations are built on one principle: truth can be separated from propaganda. Through timelines, movements, locations, and behavioral patterns, investigators can reconstruct events and determine what most likely happened, even when direct evidence is limited. This method is known as constructive reconstruction analysis, CRA, sometimes referred to as reconstructive intelligence assessment, RIA. And where reconstruction ends, evidence begins. Records, communications, witness testimony, financial trails, digital footprints, documented interactions. This is the foundation of what is known as evidentiary investigation, a process that identifies actors, accomplices, and responsibility through verifiable facts. And when both methods are combined, deception becomes harder to hide. So today, on Lifelens TV, we are going to apply constructive reconstruction analysis, CRA, and evidentiary investigation to expose the forces behind political manipulation in Kenya. Walk with me. On October 17th, 2024,
reality is that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has been taken sick.
Kenya witnessed a dramatic political moment.
Out of the division indicate that the Senate has upheld the following impeachment grounds. 1.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was impeached while admitted at Karen Hospital.
By the time I was getting here, I was under a lot of pain and shortness of breath.
But what followed after that impeachment would become even more explosive. In the weeks and months that came after, Gachagua emerged with allegations that sounded like the plot of a political thriller. He claimed there had been an attempt on his life, that he had been poisoned, that chemicals had been used, that a special squad had been formed specifically to eliminate him, and that even his family had become a target.
Undercover security agents entered my room in Kisumu, and bagged it. And one of them tried to poison my food. In Nyeri, another team from the National Intelligence Service came to Nyeri and tried to poison food that was meant for me and Kikuyu Council of Elders.
From that moment onward, Kenya entered a familiar cycle.
So, you need to know, the Americans want to know why you are working with Al-Shabaab. Yesterday, Sunday, the 18th, May 2025, I received intelligence reports that President William Ruto had ordered that I be dealt with once and for all.
And as the country watched, a troubling pattern began to unfold. There were reports of abductions, attacks, looting of businesses, and a growing atmosphere of political intimidation. But perhaps the most disturbing development of all was this: the battleground shifted into the church. Because when politics enters the pulpit, it does not just divide leaders, it contaminates sacred ground. And in the process, innocent worshippers, including children, are dragged into a conflict they did not create.
Huyu Ruto alipanga.
In recent months, multiple church services attended by Gachagua have been disrupted. And across these incidents, one detail appears repeatedly: the timing. Almost every disruption begins at around 11 a.m. The opposition insists the government is behind the attacks, targeting Gachagua. The government denies responsibility, claiming the incidents are stage-managed to manufacture sympathy. Once again, Kenya is left with two competing narratives and one unanswered question: who is telling the truth? At Lifelens TV, we chose to focus on one incident, a case that has become central to this political mystery. The disruption at Witima ACK Church in Othaya constituency, Nyeri County. On January 25, 2026, at approximately 11:30 a.m., a church service attended by Rigathi Gachagua was suddenly thrown into chaos. A tear gas canister was reportedly thrown inside the church while the service was still ongoing. Worshippers panicked. The service was cut short, and the country once again watched in shock. Shortly after,
Huyu Ruto alipanga tukuje tuwawe kanisani.
the opposition, led by Gachagua, claimed the attack was not an accident. They accused President William Ruto and Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen of orchestrating the incident, alleging it was a deliberate assassination attempt. But the government responded with a completely different version of events. They insisted the incident had been staged, a political drama designed to win public sympathy and discredit the state. And the truth is this:
Mimi nitamsaidia gavana wangu.
both sides are capable of such tactics. So the question remains, who should the public believe? Today, we are going to leave no stone unturned. We will reconstruct the events, we will examine the claims, we will follow the timeline, and we will pursue the evidence until we arrive at the most probable conclusion. Because at Lifelens TV, we can now authoritatively trace the sequence of events that led to the chaos at Witima ACK Church. And it begins with evidence.